From meeting a talent scout in an Austin mall to controlling Paramount Network's programming, this is how Taylor Sheridan has taken over Hollywood. Born in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, on May 21, 1970, Taylor Sheridan was raised in Fort Worth, Texas, got his cowboy roots from his mother, and loved visiting his grandparents' ranch in the area. When Taylor was 8 years old, his mother decided the family would move to a ranch in Cranfill's Gap so that the kids could learn about the peaceful existence and the feeling of freedom of being in nature. It was on that ranch that Sheridan learned to be a cowboy by the late 1980s, earning him the reputation of being a weekend wrangler who was also a theater kid. He wasn't passionate about pursuing a university education, so he dropped out of Texas State, moved to Austin, and did odd jobs, like painting houses and mowing lawns, while he waited for an opportunity to break into the acting world. That opportunity came when he met a talent scout in an Austin mall. He was offered the chance to move to Chicago and follow his dreams, and he took the opportunity, landing his first television role on Walker, Texas Ranger in 1995. He eventually appeared in several popular series, including Party of Five, Star Trek Enterprise, CSI and CSI New York, Sons of Anarchy, and NCIS. By 2015, he wrote the script for the successful Hollywood production Sicario, earning a Writers Guild of America Award nomination for Best Original Screenplay, announcing his arrival on the scene as someone to pay attention to, and making the decision to abandon his dream of becoming a sheriff a really good one. It was after leaving his role as David Hale on Sons of Anarchy after 21 episodes of, ironically, playing a lawman on Kurt Sutter's FX series, that he realized his true calling and his rightful place amongst the Hollywood crowd, bringing his ideas to life as a screenwriter. He felt his chances of being any more successful than he had been as an actor were slim, so he decided to write a screenplay, telling Uproxx in a 2016 interview, "I consider my 20 years as an actor my PhD in screenwriting," and he was right to assume it, since the result was the script for Sicario, a dark story surrounding the Mexican cartel wars, told from the perspective of a female FBI agent. When he finished it, he didn't even have an agent, so he sent his work to a lawyer friend, and for 3 long years, it was shopped around, before finally being picked up by Thunder Road Pictures, and then he was off and running. He was so focused and ready for mainstream audiences that another script he wrote, a neo-western called Comancheria, was sold and released in 2016 as Hell or High Water. Those 3 years created 2 hits for Sheridan right out of the gate and made the wait worth it. Growing up on Texas ranches had inspired him headfirst into greatness, even though it was tough to see at first. Taylor had virtually given up acting when he made the decision to write, and according to his wife, they were literally starving before his Sicario script was picked up, and then they were at the Oscars wondering if one of the film's 3 nominations would earn them a statue. Luck would visit them a year later when Hell or High Water was nominated for 4 Oscars, including Best Picture and Best Screenplay. It seemed like success would follow him in whatever direction he went, so he decided to try his hand at directing the 3rd and final entry in his unofficial modern Western trilogy. In 2017, he directed his film Wind River, which premiered in the Cannes Film Festival's Un Certain Regard, a side competition for unconventional films. And wouldn't you know it, he won the award for Best Director. I know he wasn't buying Powerball tickets, because he would have won that too. He admits he was overwhelmed by the luxury surrounding the Cannes Festival, saying that, "At one point I was doing interviews on this big yacht and I felt like a giant asshole." I imagine he got used to that lifestyle pretty quickly, and certainly by the time former Spike TV and now Paramount Network reached out to him, looking to create a new, original American family drama. Paramount had a new network president, Keith Cox, and he wanted Sheridan to be the guy to deliver his flagship series, and Sheridan didn't disappoint. Co-created with Sons of Anarchy producer John Linson, Yellowstone was precisely what Cox had in mind, and exactly what the network needed, breaking viewership records with the very first episode and continuing to rise. With the Season 3 premiere attracting 7.6 million viewers, the premiere episode of Season 4 got 12.7 million viewers, and Season 5's opening episode also lured in more than 12 million viewers. Those are amazing feats, but that's just the tip of the iceberg, as there are Yellowstone spin-off projects breaking more network records for viewership, and at least 3 more in the works. The Yellowstone prequel, 1883, already has a sequel titled 1923, and it debuted to the biggest audience in the Paramount Network's history, bringing in 7.4 million viewers across all platforms. For perspective, the Yellowstone series premiere in 2018 was viewed by 2.8 million people, less than half of the 1923 audience. And the 1883 premiere counted 6.4 million viewers, which was the largest show premiere on any cable network since the 2015 premiere of Fear the Walking Dead. Tulsa King, another Yellowstone spin-off starring Sylvester Stallone, debuted in November of 2022, and there are plans in the works to expand the Yellowstone universe even further, with a series planned to center around the Four Sixes Ranch, one telling the story of the first black deputy U.S. Marshal, titled Lawman Bass Reeves. A 1923 sequel, titled 1944, was in development as of February 2023. And following the planned departure of Costner from Yellowstone at the end of the 5th season, a yet-to-be-titled sequel series was announced as being in development, with actor Matthew McConaughey supposedly attached to the leading role. Hopefully, that's true, because it'd be a lot cooler if he was, though I don't think anyone in the game is cooler than Taylor Sheridan right now. Have I mentioned Mayor of Kingstown? Yeah, there are more shows, and this one isn't connected to Yellowstone. Mayor of Kingstown follows the McCluskey family, power brokers in the incarceration business in Kingstown, Michigan. It stars Jeremy Renner, Diane Wiest, and Kyle Chandler. Oh, and the premiere set another record for the biggest debut audience on Paramount+. It's almost a joke at this point. Sheridan is crushing it. Everything the man touches attracts a production deal and millions of eyeballs, so the shows keep rolling in. He's working on a terrorism drama titled Lioness, starring Carla Mansour and Zoe Saldana, scheduled to premiere on the Paramount Network in late 2023, as well as Landman, a West Texas oil fields drama with Billy Bob Thornton starring. The reportedly insane production costs haven't slowed Paramount from making commitments. They keep picking up show after show after show. The media has reported that a single episode of 1923 cost the studio as much as $35 million to produce, and a lot of the expenses, allegedly, come from wasteful spending by Sheridan, who can apparently do whatever the hell he wants at this point. Network executives have expressed concern over the incredible costs, yet they continue to give him more and more control over Paramount Network's programming, and he'll have that control for a long time if all of the planned projects move forward. The head of 101 Studios, David Glasser, sent an email in response to the fact that Sheridan insists on using his own farrier to shoe the Yellowstone horses. And that wouldn't be a big deal if they weren't flying him in from Texas for 4 nights to do it. The email read, "Are you kidding me? We can't find a local person?" Saddle up, David. You're in for a long ride. So, from controlling Paramount Network's programming to meeting a talent scout in an Austin mall, that was how Taylor Sheridan has taken over Hollywood.